Hello guys, welcome back to the series of tutorials on cybersecurity. I am Deepak Unyal, and in this tutorial I am going to teach you manipulating numbers in Linux shell script. If you haven't seen my previous video, I request you to please go back and watch that first, because in that video we discussed about variables, and specifically two type of variables: environment variables and user defined variables. So once you are familiar with that or understand those things easily, you can come to this lecture and learn about manipulating numbers. We are going to heavily use those things in this lecture, so please learn the variables first, and then we'll talk about manipulating numbers. So I hope you know how to process number in some other programming languages, but it's a bit different process in the shell script. So you have to take care of this thing and watch the tutorial very carefully to understand the concept. So there are two ways of performing mathematical operations in the shell script, and one of them is using EXPR command, and second is using brackets. And which bracket we are going to use? Square brackets, right? So we'll start with the first thing, that is EXPR command, and learn about it. So when we are talking about EXPR command, it recognizes a few different mathematical and string operations. Like you can write arg1 and then put arg2 in OR. So what this does, this returns arg1 in case none of the argument is null or 0. Otherwise it is going to return argument 2. Similarly, when we have argument 1 and argument 2, it will return argument 1 if neither argument is null or 0. Otherwise it is going to return 0. So idea is very simple. When we are talking about OR, if this is non-zero and another one is also non-zero, in that case it is going to return the first argument. Clear? But let us suppose this argument is 0. In that case it is going to return this argument. So if you have studied the logic operations, you might be knowing this thing. And similarly in this AND, if we have both non-zeros, this will return the argument 1. But if we have any of the argument as 0, then it will return 0. Clear? So I don't think this is very difficult. And there are some other symbols also that are recognized by this EXPR command: less than or less than equal to, greater than equal to, then equal to, not equal to, plus, minus, multiply, divide, modulus, and so on, right? And there are some string operations also. So you can write a string here and then some regular expression. And what is this doing? This is actually finding out this regex in this string. Clear? So I will go to the terminal and execute some of the operations, and then you will be having an idea about it, right? Okay, now as I am on the terminal, so let's try some commands. Argument 1 I am declaring here, so maybe it is 2. Then arg2 is 3. Try using expr arg1 and then or arg2 and see if it works fine. And it is saying arg2 not found. So what we have to do, we have to put dollar in front of this so that it can recognize it. And now it is saying bash3 command not found. So why it is saying command not found? Because it is not able to interpret this OR symbol, and we have to use a escape character here. And now you can see it is correct. arg2 and arg3 both are non-zero, so it is returning first argument. Similarly you can do it like this, 2 or 3, and again it is saying that command not found, so use escape sign, and it's saying 2 now, right? So if we make it 0, then what will be the answer? It will be 3, right? You might remember from our definition. Do it for AND. Try doing this. It is saying command not found. So what you have to do, just use this sign, and now it is giving us answer 0. Let's make it 2 and make it 0, again 0. So if any of them is 0, answer will be 0. So make it 2 and 3. So what should be answer now? Is 2. Clear? So whenever these both are non-zero, answer will be the first argument. Clear? Now try to multiply these two arguments. Maybe we will multiply 2 and 3, and you can see there is some syntax error. Although standard operation work fine in the EXPR command, but the problem occurs when using them from a script or the command line. So many operators have other meaning in the cell, like this asterisk sign. So using them in the EXPR command produces some odd results or unexpected result. And similarly, as we have done in this OR command or AND command, we have to use escape symbol here, and now you can see output is there. Clear? But actually using these things is a little bit cumbersome or difficult to use, right? Let's take some more examples. I will create a variable 1 and give it value 10, then variable 2, and I will give it some other value, maybe 20. Create another variable 3, and I am assigning it something, like I want to give it value from the variable 1 and 2. So I will write expr first, then variable 2 divide by, and then variable 1. Clear? If you not know this, this is called command substitution. There are some interesting application of this, and we are going to learn this in upcoming lectures. We are evaluating all these things and substituting this to variable 3. So just see the value of var 3 now. So it should be var 3, and answer is 2. Clear? And that is fine, I think, right? So this is the expected output. So you have seen that using this EXPR is a little bit difficult and confusing. Fortunately, Bash Shell has an improvement for processing math operations, as you are going to see now. So what is that? You have to use brackets. So you have to use brackets like this. So actually using EXPR command is difficult, but it is still included in the Bash Shell so that it can stay compatible with the Bourne shell, right? But this is the easier way. What you have to do, you have to enclose your whole math operation using a dollar sign and square bracket. So you can write dollar and then some operation inside this. Clear? Let's start with one variable 1, and then you can write dollar 1 plus 5 here, and you can echo this variable after that. Similarly, you can use var 2 and then dollar sign, and if you want to use var 1, you can use var 1 multiplied by 2 and then echo variable 2. Now you can ask me a question that we need to put slash here or not. So answer is no, because when it sees this square bracket, it easily understand that you are going to perform some mathematical operation, and it will interpret it in the way it is needed to be. Clear? So I will show you some more examples here, but let's go to the terminal and we'll run the program there. Clear? One thing you have seen that I have been running program in the cell itself, but you can actually write the commands here. I will comment all these things because these are not needed, so will not be interpreted by the cell now. And now I can write var1 equal to some example that I have given previously, 1 plus 5, After that you can write echo and then var1 var2 equal to dollar, and in between you can write var1 into 2. Clear? Echo var2. So just save this file and see the content of file, and now run the script, and here you can see it is 6, which is 5 plus 1, and then 6 into 2 12. Clear? Open the file again and you can do some more operations here, like you can write var1 equal to 100, then you can write var2 equal to 200, and I will remove this thing, make it variable 3, and perform some operations, like I want to perform var1 multiplied by var2, and we have to put this dollar sign here and echo var3. So let's see the output here, and it is 20,000. So everything is working fine, right? And one thing that you have noticed, that you don't need to worry about these symbols like asterisk in between, because now this will not be misinterpreted by the cell, and this square bracket is going to do all the things for you. Clear? But there is a major limitation to performing maths in cell, and what is that? Just look at this now. You have variable 1, that is 100, and then variable 2 200. Just try to divide variable 2 with variable 1, and now run the script, and it is 2, and that is perfectly fine, right? There is no issue in that. But let's make it 240 or maybe 260. Now save the file, see the content of the script, and now run the script again, and you can see we have 260 here, and we are dividing it by 100, and answer is 2. So actually answer is only integer, right? And this is major limitation when you perform mathematics in the cell. It only supports integer arithmetic. Clear? So actually that's a big problem, but every problem has some solution, right? So what solution we have for this? So we have two solutions. We can use z cell for performing floating point operations, or there is second option which is most popular, and you can use built-in bash calculator which is called BC, right? So if that is not installed in your system, you can use this command sudo apt-get install BC, and after that this bash calculator will be installed in your system, and then you can perform the mathematical operation in floating point, right? So let's go to the terminal first. If I write BC here, I am on that mode of calculation. Now you can perform any operation you want to do. 2 into 3, that is 6. Now perform 200 divided by 100, that is also good. Now 260 divided by 100, and now we are getting 2. Again you can say that we are still getting 2. What is the solution for this? So there is a scale variable which sets the floating points you should get after the decimal. So let me tell you, that is scale variable. If I make it 4, then you can perform the operation again, and now see you are getting 4 points after the decimal. You can change this scale variable, maybe make it 2, and now again perform this operation and you will get 2.60, right? So this BC will perform these calculations for you. Now the most important question is, how can we use this thing in script? Because now we are doing everything in this cell, right? So let's get out of here. You can write quit to exit, and now we are out of this BC prompt. Open the script file again and try to do some calculations here. Okay, so if you want to use this thing in a script, there is a general syntax of this. You have to use variable and then use equal to sign, dollar, then use parenthesis, then you have to write echo and then provide some options here. You can write multiple options and separate them using semicolon, and when you are done with this, just provide this symbol or symbol and then write BC here, right? So what actually you are doing here, you are using command substitution character to run a BC command and assign that output to a variable, right? And this is the basic format. So I will comment it for you and I will show you some examples so that you can understand it easily. So I will write variable, maybe var1, then equal to dollar sign echo, and before that we have to use parenthesis, and this is always fixed, right? Then the double quotes or BC, this is fixed thing, you have to always write. Clear? Then option that you want to use, I am using scale equal to 4, provide semicolon, and then if you want to perform some operations you can write 3.44 divided by 5 or 4 or something like that. Clear? And when it is done you can write echo, then echo the variable 1. Now I will run this for you, and here is the output in floating point. Clear? Similarly you can do it for other variables. I will comment it and write another expression. So I have variable 1 which is 100, I have variable 2 which is 45, then I have variable 3, then equal to sign, dollar, echo, then use scale equal to 4 or maybe less than that, then use expression variable 1 divide by variable 2. Clear? So we are dividing variables here, we are not using values like we used here, and then after that BC. Now again run the script and here is the output. Clear? So that's how you use this BC command in your script. As this is a new thing for you, I will show you one more example. So I will write variable 1 which is 20, then variable 2 which is 3 point, and you can write anything like this. I want to create variable 3 and what that variable is. So this is always same, so I hope you will remember this always, and scale 2 or 3 or 4 anything you want. So here I am making variable 1 with dollar sign, that is must, then provide asterisk for the multiplication, and then variable 2. Clear? So by multiplying these two variables we are getting variable 3. Now create variable 4 which is same thing that we have already written, and now put something here, scale equal to 4, that is always fixed, and then you can write variable 3 and multiply it by variable 2, right? So what we are doing here, we are multiplying variable 1 and 2 and then we are multiplying variable 2 and 3. Clear? Now echo the variable 4, see the output. So it is just to make you familiar with the way BC command is used in the script, right? Okay, now I hope with this discussion you might be knowing about the basics of shell scripting and the way you can perform mathematical operation here, right? So I hope now you are also aware about the way we can perform integer operations and floating point operations. Clear? Okay, so I think this is enough for this lecture. If you have any query regarding any of these topics, please write your queries in the comments and I will try to respond back as soon as possible. So see you in the next video with some new concept. Till then, thank you so much.